I was actually traveling the whole year, living in a hotel room, 250 days last year by myself.
Wow.
Yeah, by myself. No Miro. And I didn't have to, but it was just like I wanted to give it my all. Like I didn't want to get fired. I wanted to make sure I wasn't an essential worker. You know, that they're like, no, we need you. And I know from day one my future endeavors, all of those future endeavors start day one of working in WWE, so I was preparing for it. So I rented this house and decided to take my family on a family vacation here, and so I could train a lot more and not have to travel. And 2 weeks in, I rented it for a month. 2 weeks in, I got a call from Johnny Ace. Crazy thing is, I thought he was calling me about something completely different because I can't tell you yet what the show is, but I was offered to do another television show. And Great. So they went through the whole process with WWE and they approved it. And so I thought he was calling me about more of those details, you know, because that's what we were all discussing the day before, you know, and he's calling you about your 90 days. And I'm like, wait, what? I was like, I couldn't even understand. And he's like, I'm calling you about your 90-day, like you're getting released. And I was literally standing right next to the pool. I just like, my heart dropped. My heart dropped. At the same time, I felt really relieved, which was really weird because I did not expect to feel relieved. Like I felt like a weight lifted off my shoulder and I could breathe. And if someone would have told me that would have happened, I would have been like, no way. Because I love my job. I love the people that I worked with. I mean, yeah, things are shitty at times, but like, that's why it's a job, you know?
Right, exactly.
Like,
it's called work.
Exactly. And so I was just like, oh my God. And I just was like, thank you. He's like, stay in touch. He's like, thank you. He goes, you've worked your ass off. I go, is there anything that I did wrong? He's like, no. He's like, you worked your ass off. You've improved tremendously in the ring. He's like, thank you for working hard. He's like, stay close. You know, Johnny Aces, the usual. I kind of chuckled to myself because I'm like, I'm glad it wasn't Mark Carano that called me. Because like, I just see Johnny as this role, you know, and Mark, Mark kind of becomes like homies a little bit more, and like Ace is just like so corporate.
And that's his job, is to be he's the axe man.
Yes. And
what was the excuse? Budget cuts?
He was like, no, just budget cuts, and I said okay. I was like, thank you for everything. And that was that, and immediately I had to leave. Like I literally had walked out of the pool. I was like, I don't want to talk to, and everyone's here. Everyone, my nephew, my niece, they're playing, like my aunt is here, my brother is here, my parents are here, Miro's somewhere. And I'm like, I can't. So I like walk out, and I was in the middle of texting Mandy. Like we were texting about other random things, and I'm just like, I just got released. She was the first person because I'm in the middle of, and she's like, wait, what? And I'm like, yeah, they literally just released me. And I called Natty immediately. I couldn't even talk to Miro yet. I was like, I gotta just. Jeez. And Natty, she didn't, same reaction. She's like, wait, what? You know, and I don't know. It was just like sucked, you know, and it's just like. But at the same time, I felt really relieved in the sense of like, I've been waiting for this call. And that's the part I don't like about it, the environment of how, you know, and if I want to, whatever wrestling contract I have next, if I stay in wrestling, which I hope I do, I want a no-cut clause because that was the worst.
Hanging over your head constantly, right?
Yes, and living in that state of fear of like, you don't know when your future endeavors is going to come. And I'm such a planner. I'm such a planner, and it's just like, okay, you know, I had 3.5 years left, you know, and it's like, I have all these plans, you know, and I invest my money. I'm a businesswoman, and it's just like, damn, like why
And you,
sucks,
not saying this, I mean, you want this. You've always been that way from when I was working with you. You mentioned training with Natty and TJ. You're not just sitting back collecting your paycheck going, oh, I'm a hot blonde and who gives a shit. You know, and that's the difference that of all the people to cut.
Yeah.
But like you said, that's why it's a job.
Yeah.
You know, it's not fair, but
no, it's not fair, but you know, life isn't fair.
Right.
So, and that's what I just remind myself is like, when I'm like, damn, that isn't fair. I had just made gear, beautiful neon glow in the dark gear, over $4,000 it cost, you know, by the people that like sew for all the top singers, and we had all these new outfits we had bought, and outfits that I wouldn't even probably wear in real life, but we have to have them glow in the dark, and you know, it's just of course I'm devastated.